Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. I thought I would just jump on and give you guys a quick tour and a bit of a walkthrough of what's available, any new stuff that's going on, all that kind of thing, just before the weekend so you guys can sort of know what you're in for, I guess. But I mean, we start with the big kind of displays. Old Jeremy, the sulking Oscar, who was just having a scrap with the nameless green Severum before I started filming, so that's never ideal, but yeah, they're there. Got all the featherfin synodontises. There's, I think, 5 of them in there. And we've also got a big black ghost knife who you can see the back of him, but never his head. But that's display tank number 1 as you first walk in. Number 2, we've got this tank that I will do a bit of cleaning up on before we get going for the weekend. I'll do it after I jump off here before I go home. But got our Neolamprologus brevis, if the camera decides to focus. And there's a bunch of fry in here. I don't know where they are. Obviously they're hiding because I'm trying to film them, but they're in here. Oh, there's one. You see it? Just right under that leaf. You'll just be able to see his eye. He just moved. So yeah, there's a bunch in there, but those are the most easily seeable ones. Next up, we've got this little planted tank that's kind of just a bit of a hodgepodge of random stuff. I do have plans for this, some exciting plans, but not right now. There's a couple other things that need to get done first before we get onto this one. This side we've got all our rare and Buna. I just realised I got some Flavis a while ago that I was going to put in here and then entirely forgot, and I just realised I've been chilling in the random kind of assorted junk tank for ages, so they're going to go in here when I get around to it. But yeah, oh, there's one other thing I forgot to show you. So this week, is that him there? You can kind of see him there. Got a calico bristlenose. He's falling. But yeah, got a calico bristlenose. I got a bunch of fish off a guy, and that bristlenose was in there. So I was like, yo, let's keep him. So that's all the various imbunas hanging out in there, doing their fish-related activities. This side we've got the Dualitochromistic Feldi and a few Neolamprologus brevis. And I think that's about it. But basically, I don't know if anyone doesn't know, there's a stupid amount of Dickfeldies in here, and there's always more. Every time you look, there's probably another 50% more. It's insanity, but in a good way. Then down here, we've got some Geophagus Tapahos growing up. They're all growing, slow and steady, as the Geophagus do, but, you know, they're getting there. We're in no rush. They take as long as they take, so yeah, they're down there. This side, we've got this tank that probably needs a little bit of cleaning up and making it a little bit more nice, but we've got Frank the Tank, the axolotl, who's hanging out down there. Then we slowly turn around so I don't give you guys motion sickness. But we've got this new tank that I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to do with, but I have a feeling it'll be some form of community tank, but aside from that, we haven't really made any decisions. So watch this space. If you've got any suggestions or ideas of that, feel free to let me know and we'll see what we can do. Then this side we've got the tank that should probably get its CO2 turned off. But yeah, the cherry barbs, everyone loves the cherry barbs. One of the plans for this tank here is potentially take this, do it there, bigger. I don't know. That's just an idea. I haven't really decided, but it is possible at the very least. So, I mean, ideas. Let me know what you think about them. Over here we've got our peacock and hap display tank, all thinking it's food time because it's the end of the day. I don't know, if people don't know, I always feed them at like 5, and every time at like 4 I start hearing everyone splashing around, getting a bit angry with all the Africans, but these ones I'm talking about because we're looking at them, but everyone starts getting a bit angry, getting a bit excited, wanting their dinner, so that's why they're all a bit grumpy. And also I was looking at this guy the other day, my beautiful Copperchromis Cadango, or the Redfin Borellii, or Red Cadango, or Goldfin Hat, or they're one of those ones that has like 75 different common names, but man, he is a bit of a tank. That's my hand there. Probably doesn't do him justice, but that thing is freaking huge. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what you want to do with that information, but hey, they're cool. If you have a cycler tank, you should get one. Up this way, we got Grumpy Face number 1 and Grumpy Face number 2. They're always fighting through the glass, but that's just because that's what they do. Obviously, they can't do any damage. And then in here somewhere, I don't know where, down there somewhere, across there. I don't know. There is a wild caught blue phantom somewhere, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, there he is. Behind there. You can see like the edge of his fin. I did just clean this tank, so that's why there's all the stuff floating in it. But with the whole sort of fancy pleco stuff is never really something I've done much of. But I've had a couple people asking, so I thought I'd bring them in. And we'll see how they go. I mean, I don't know. I'm not convinced if I'm going to keep selling them. Just with, I don't know if the demand's there for the kind of fish keepers that tend to come here. But I mean, if people want them, 100% I can see what I can do. I mean, I'd love to carry them. They're pretty cool fish. They're not specifically my cup of tea, all of them, but there's a few, like the blue phantoms, like the leopard, oh, excuse me, like the leopard cactuses, a few of those that are like pretty awesome. And we got they call this a red-faced gold severum, so I don't know what that particularly means, but it's pretty cool. Sorry, I know I should edit that out, but we all know I'm not going to do that. We've got a red-faced gold severum. We got the albino heckelei. What do they call them? They have a common name that everyone calls them by that. I can't remember, but I just call them heckelei. There's a few of them, but those are the only two out and about. And then there's rainbow shark, I think, and maybe one or two other bits and pieces in there, but they're pretty cool. The heckelei, I think, are one of those ones that they'll fit in like all sorts of different tanks, you know. Got an Oscar, got an arowana, got convicts, for example. They fit in with a lot. And yeah, so this tank's kind of boring. I do want to change this up, but we just got convicts and blue acaras and one green terror, one rainbow shark, bunch of random catfish. I'm not super happy. I think it could be so much cooler, so that's the plan. Up here we got a big green severum. So they're both a bit beaten up, which is a big stuff up basically on my part, that I'll admit. Here's the other one. Because basically they were separated. There was one in that tank there, and there was one in that tank there. But then when all these guys came in, I was like, oh, we'll try see if they get along, because they were kept in the same tank originally before I got them. But yeah, that was a stuff up. I separated them once I saw the violence, but obviously there's a few shredded fins and stuff. This side is just all sorts of random lower quality Africans generally. Lower quality and females. Like we've got a female Cadango, female electric blue, bunch of female OBs. There's all sorts of random stuff in here. Then we got, there's probably some male OBs left, and then just random boners people giving me. And my Flavis. Beautiful timing, mate. Can't complain. But yeah, we've got the Flavis. Gotta love me a Flavis. Flavi. Again, this is that random tank of all sorts of bits and pieces that don't really, like, I get traded in or surrendered or whatever, that kind of just go in here, and generally they're just given away to people. Like, I got one rummy nose, so if you've got rummy noses, come in and you can add old mate to your tank. This tank, we've got X-ray tetras or the Bristilla tetras, but we've got like 4, so I need to get some more. And then we've got the honeygoramas. And then this tank is the one everyone's waiting for. Albino cherry barbs. How freaking awesome are they? I just want them so bad. I want to spawn them. I want to keep them. That's probably the prime candidate for that other planted tank around the corner. And then there's penguin tetras and female bettas and maybe a bristlenose or 2. This tank we've got longfin albino bristlenoses, guppies, a betta, coolie loaches, ottocinclus, I think is about it. This tank is all those random ones I'm looking after for a customer while he goes away. Look at that. Man, this jungle look is actually quite cool. There is a zebra pleco in here, so that'll be cool if we saw it, but we obviously won't. Bunch of plants. Who doesn't love a plant? Plant tank's looking pretty lush at the moment, so that's good. Over here we've got a bunch of platies, and I think that's about it. Maybe like 3 guppies. But yeah, I love platies. Best beginner fish out, I reckon. This tank we've got assorted, well not assorted, but a bunch of random cories, gold lasers. There's a peppered, there's pygmies, probably some others I'm forgetting. Ember tetras, more guppies, gup boys, more platies, more silver tips. Oh no, not more silver tips, some silver tips. Kaithit danios, which are criminally underrated. A piston Nacini, which I think I'm going to have to move because I haven't really been selling, and I think it's just because... So, there's a thing, these 2 tanks never sell well, because I think it's because they're right by here, and probably because I got this hanging in the front, but even before I had that hanging there, these 2 tanks never sell that well, so that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to probably rearrange some stuff and do some shifting, but not today. This one's kind of boring. There's like 3 platies and that's it. So we won't spend too much time on that. That one's getting redone. This side we've got the standard cherry barbs, the angelfish, golden barbs. I always have to keep so many cherry barbs in. They're like the best fish. I love them. I said platies was the best beginner fish. Cherry barbs is like the best all-round fish. Like I sell, like everyone loves them. I sell so many. I love them. What more could you want? And yeah, just a bunch of angels. I love angels, but people either love them or hate them, but I'm very much on the love them side of the equation. This tank has some cool stuff. We got the wild bleeding hearts that are fantastic. A couple of them have like kind of cataracts, I guess, but the guy got them off, actually the same guy whose fish I'm looking after, board down the end, he said he'd had them for like, well, I know he'd had them for like almost 2 years because I'm the one that sold them to him. And a couple of them, maybe a couple months after I sold them to him, developed this random eye thing, but they've been fine, so that's the main thing. Got a couple, this one has some real gems. There's like some odd bullflies. Got some bristle noses. Oh, I'm gonna have to tell you, I probably won't do it in this video, but this bristle nose here has a bit of a neurological condition, so it's not being sold, but it's just hanging out, and it is so cute. We've got some angel 1, angel 2. Those angels are probably going to a client, but we'll have to see how it goes. Swordtails, again, these swordtails haven't sold well. I used to have more swordtails down the end, always sold. These ones don't sell, and my big bristle nose that is fanning some eggs. This tank we've got Paldanios, Rosy Tetras, Bronze Cories. Swordtails in this tank actually sell well, stupidly, and a few other bits and pieces, I'm sure. This tank we've got snails and green fire tetras, but there's, as you can see, not a ton of green fires. Oh, and there's a few of these teeny weeny little baby mollies. So yeah, I think there's only like 2 or 3 of those mollies left. I just was selling them for like $1 each, or $2 each or something like that, but can't beat it. This tank we've got cribs. Always got cribs. So many cribs. Always run out of cribs. I mean, never run out of cribs. This tank, well, we got Sturbeyes and Black Widows, kind of boring. This tank, Strata Loaches and Cribs, also not the world's most exciting tank, unfortunately. Hey, unless you, so I shouldn't say that. If you're into them, you're into them. But I was thinking these cribs will just go with the other cribs, and then the Strata Loaches can hang out, and then I'll throw some other random, I don't know, some other schooling fish or something in there maybe. This one is White Clouds, Harlequins. There's always these black mollies all over the place. I don't even know where they come from. These teeny tiny little bristle noses. There's a few of them. Sparkling gouramis. Red Beckford's pencilfish. Focus on it. And I believe that is everything out of that tank. This tank we got gold white clouds, black neons, black phantoms, gold algae eaters. Probably a betta or something. That tank we got pea puffers. This tank is so much fun. I know it's not the world's most pretty, but I reckon it works so well for pea puffers. There we go. Missed these ones. So down here we got the fancy goldfish. I'm on a bit of a goldfish kick at the moment. I freaking love them. So I'm in danger. Someone help. This tank we got tiger barbs. What else is in there? Scissortail Raspora. Blue rainbow fish. Bristle nose. Oh, I know we'll never see them, of course, but there's a bunch of bigger bristlenoses in here. Oh, you can see the top of its head. So yeah, I think those got pulled out of a client's tank the other day because there was just some extras, so we just pulled them out and we'll scoot them along. So that's about that for that tank. Oh, this tank we've got old Bud, who was unfortunately getting a bit of a beating, so he's in here by himself to rest and recuperate. Might check some bristlenoses in there actually to kind of grow them out for some of the African tanks around, so that might be a job. Either that or the gold algae eaters, Summy's algae eaters, which I'll show you my big one. They're pretty cool. Yellows and Dems, classic, and then a bunch of random, like, guess what that is? I have no idea. But yeah, a bunch of random crap that, sorry, language. Sorry, children. Bit of an Uncle Roger reference there, but yeah, just yellows and Dems and some randoms. There's a couple nice yellows. I'll never be able to find them because it's video, of course, but there is a couple decent ones, but the rest are meh. And some funky looking Dems, but they're all free, so hey, can't complain. This one, oh, we got OB Heaven. OB peacocks are like a classic for a reason, you know? You cannot beat an OB. And then we got Taiwanese Reef, Banshees, Abundant German Red, more OBs, OB Eye Biters, and OB Peacocks, and Electric Blue Freyeri, and that's probably the, oh, Eureka Red, everyone loves Eureka, SP44, Thick Skin, what do they call them? Thick Skin Hat. Man, so that 10 times medium pace. Bunch of slightly bigger stuff, Venustus obviously, OB Peacock, OB Eye Biter, Blue Dolphin. We're a little bit light. I do have to go get some more at some point, but you know, time is a struggle for me at the moment. I'm a bit hectic, which is good, but is also bad. And I'll slowly show you this. So I've redone this. Those tanks that were on the left there got sold, and there's like the ornament / decoration corner now. Got this chair, got this, what's that called? A dehumidifier. That is a must-have in a fish shop in winter time. Literally, if you don't have that, go home. But yeah, a train. Oh man, that train is so awesome. And the Hobbit house. No one's bought the Hobbit house yet. That's a crime. That thing is so cool. Got to have a dwarf cichlid in there, you know. And for my Lord of the Ring fanboys out there. So we got like, this is kind of like the normal stuff. Then we got like the military stuff. Plus the cichlid stone that probably shouldn't be there. Someone's been messing around with it. This was supposed to be here. The smaller helicopter. This is like my military / shipwreck area. Plus pleco caves because that's where they fit. And we've got plants. So actually, I'm really happy with plants, like fake plants at the moment. Like, I think they're getting pretty good. Because obviously, if you're dealing with fish like Africans and that find live plants very yummy, then whack in some of these. And honestly, I will tell you something. There are so many people who, when we go over here to this tank, are always like, "Oh, can I buy that? How fast does that grow?" And I'm like, "Oh no, there's a fake one." And they're like, "No, that one right there." And it's like, "No, that's fake." And they're like, "Oh my god." So yeah, and then we got on this side. I just showed the dry goods as well because people seem to like it. Got foods, more food. If you I still have quite a bit of JBL, so if you want some JBL super cheap, hit me up. Tell me the code. I don't know. What's a funny code that you guys can tell me? Tell me the code pencil case. That's not that funny, but tell me pencil case and you can have JBL half price again. And then we got the Blackwater utilities, guitar leaves and alder cones, plus some little spider woods. We got the big bubbas, we got Penzies, we got the Oscars, these two Oscars trying to make some babies, but hate to break it to you guys, but it sounds like fish food for everyone else. Got my big ornate, that everyone loves this ornate, man. This is like the most popular fish in the shop. And he's getting some pretty good size on him. I should do a feed. I might film a feeding video after this to upload maybe tomorrow. I wonder why the water's doing that. Is there an earthquake? Then this side we got goldfish food. I'm gonna cut all this goldfish food probably. Might keep a little bit, but goldfish food is selling for me. It was I wanted to do basically what I was wanting to do is was wanting to make it real cheap and just like from a business perspective make it very low margin but very high volume, but it's not selling well enough, and I think it'll be better to use that space for New Life Spectrum, to be honest, than for goldfish food. So you can have all that half price as well if you want. Then we got, this is the Rapashi, need to order more Rapashi, but I mean everyone knows my opinions on Rapashi, hands down best food on the market in New Zealand. I like New Life Spectrum, but I think Rapashi is so much better. And then speak of the devil, New Life Spectrum, freeze-dried insects, larger pieces of spiderwood. See, I'm trying to turn slowly because everyone keeps getting motion sick, which I want to avoid. And then we got rocks, rocking out the joint, if you will. Rocks. I try to keep heaps of rocks because I don't know why, but in terms of hardscape, rocks seem to be way more popular than driftwood. I don't know if it's just my selection or what, but everyone loves rocks. Driftwood's like fine, but nothing crazy. This stuff here, oh, hold on, the phone's ringing. Back in a sec. Sorry about that, team, just had a phone call. But basically what I was going to say is this stuff here is absolutely magic. You want clear water? Chuck some of that in. I am working on a bit of a kind of before and after video, but I'm trying to do it a bit of higher production value than this, so it'll take me a minute, but I think that's so good for just really polishing it off, and like making that thing. So yeah, here's the internal filter wool. I'm doing this now, the Brooklyn's filter wool rather than the Aquarium one, just because it's a bit bigger of a pack and a bit wider, and I noticed like whenever people would come buy filter wool, they'd just walk out with like 3 or 4 packs, and I was like, kind of a waste, why don't we just get one bigger pack? So that's that. But I mean, if you guys want me to keep carrying the smaller ones, let me know, but just from my noticing of people, that's kind of what I thought. Then we got the heaters and heater protectors and that. I did kind of rearrange it so that the Eheim and the Aqua one is all on the same size. Oh, the phone's ringing again. 1 second. The old wrong number trick. But sorry, this video is all over the place. But basically this is the Eheim and Aqua one all in the same place. Make life a bit easier for everybody. This side we got frozen food. Nothing too crazy. And then I just do a quick little thing like this because it seems like this video is dragging on, and I don't think anyone's still watching, to be honest. So if you are still watching, hit me up with type the word, I don't know, breeder box in the comments, and I'll know who's still watching. But I think I'm talking to myself. But basically, yeah, that's kind of what we got all going around, what's available, all that kind of thing. If you see anything you want to ask about, feel free to let me know. Obviously, I'm more than happy to answer your questions, but other than that, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!